After our dreams of living abroad together came to an end last year, we decided to make our house a place we love instead of just a place we have to live. Hey everyone, I'm Amber Oliver. Today we are kicking off our guest bedroom makeover. So this room doubles as a guest room, but also as my husband's work from home space. So the first thing we're doing is painting the walls, and to do that we're using a paint sprayer. That's going to make this process not only quick and easy, but it's going to give us professional results that are going to look amazing in this space. Let's get started. We made over our guest bathroom with paint and wallpaper, gave me a closet that made me cry, and are now transforming our guest room into a home office that occasionally has guests. The first project in this room, painting. I've used a paint sprayer countless times, but I'd never used a paint sprayer on walls. I've painted a lot of pieces of furniture, and it also helped us get a flawless finish on kitchen cabinet doors. Using a paint sprayer for walls is so fast. I painted an 8-foot by 10-foot wall in about 5 minutes. This is obviously much faster than using a roller. You also get a super smooth finish, and you don't have to worry about brush marks. Because it is so fast, you keep a wet edge, and you don't end up with lines where you started and stopped. I also found I didn't have to use a ladder and could spray from baseboard to ceiling easily with the interior paint sprayer. Almost all of the time on this project was in the prep. You have to tape off everything you don't want paint on. You usually tape off baseboards whether you're rolling on your paint or spraying, so that part wasn't any more work than normal. You also probably tape around doors and windows, so again, not much more work here. The easiest way to do this is to use tape with pre-attached plastic sheeting. Now, I normally wouldn't advocate for single uses, but honestly, this is the only way to go with this project. Use the plastic sheeting to cover the windows and closets. The plastic is also really great for covering the ceiling. Our paint sprayer had almost zero overspray, so you're mainly covering enough of the ceiling so you can overshoot your edges. That way, your paint will go all the way from the ceiling to the baseboards. I'll go ahead and warn you, taping the ceiling was so be prepared. Honestly, anything overhead is normally harder to do, so pack your patience here. Just know that this part is the majority of the hard work. The actual painting is coming, and it's much more fun and way easier than this. For this project, I used the Flexio 5000. To assemble, first remove the air hose from the storage case and plug in on the front of the case. Because this is a stationary paint sprayer, it's perfect for longer or bigger projects like this because it keeps the weight on the floor instead of in your hands. It comes with 2 nozzles. Since we're using the paint sprayer for walls, we'll be using the iSpray nozzle. Insert the paint pickup tube into the intake opening on the nozzle. Carefully reassemble by screwing the cup back on and tighten firmly. Once reassembled, screw the nozzle into the handle. Since we're using paint straight from the can, it's unthinned, we do need to set the X-Boost power dial. This adjusts the level of air pressure produced by the turbine, and we set that at a high setting. Next, you adjust the material flow. That's the amount of paint that is sprayed from the gun. Now let's adjust the spray pattern. Depending on if you're spraying vertically or horizontally, you'll turn the cap on the front of the gun. There's also a spray width lever to adjust the width. Since we're using our paint sprayer for walls, you'll want to set a wide pattern. Turn the power on the power box, then turn the power switch on the handle. This part took me a while to figure out, so read the instructions.
I think if we
with the ladder, I probably could have done it in 5 minutes. That looks really good. Let me go ahead and finish. Okay. Like I mentioned, I was able to paint this wall in just over 5 minutes. We have 8-foot ceilings and that wall is 10 foot wide. Always test the spray and adjust your settings to ensure the best coverage. The Flexio 5000 comes with a handy spray poster that can be used for practicing. The best advice is to keep your arm moving when you pull the trigger. You'll keep the nozzle only about 6 or 8 inches from the wall. This is much closer than I would have guessed. Try to move at the same speed and keep the nozzle the same distance. This is how you get that consistent, perfect paint. Start just past where your wall starts, so either on the floor or the ceiling. Starting past where you want the paint to begin helps you not pool the paint when you're starting. I painted my walls vertically and was able to do so mostly without the ladder. Move straight up and down, then overlap the next pass at least 50%. This will ensure that you get full coverage painting a wall. A few things to remember. You're going to have overspray. Despite our best efforts of taping off this room, I still had to clean up overspray. That being said, I usually have to clean up drips even when I'm using a paintbrush with the drop cloth, so nothing new here for me. Side note, the best way to get paint off of wood floors? Just soap and water. Since we're using a paint that can be cleaned up with soap and water, that's all you need. Using a quality paint does make a difference. While using the paint sprayer properly will give you the coverage you're looking for, if you have cheap paint, you aren't going to see the results you want no matter how well you spray. We shelled out for the Regal Select Waterborne Interior Paint from Benjamin Moore, and there's a reason this paint is the top of the line. It's nearly $80 a gallon, but for less than $100, we had everything we needed to see a huge difference in this room. The best part, we only needed 1 coat. Paint sprayers consume more paint than a roller. You may decide to go a cheaper route for paint. Keep in mind that the sprayer uses more paint than a brush or roller would, and you may end up buying and needing more to get full coverage. The sprayer I used before was great for small projects. I wanted something that could handle wall paint without the hassle of having to dilute the paint. I also needed something with a bit more power so we could get a professional looking finish on the walls. I hope this project inspires you to use a paint sprayer for the walls in your home. Check out the Wagner paint sprayer options I've listed in the description of this video if you need an interior paint sprayer. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future projects in this guest room and more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.